Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is Transformative Conversations. My name is Vaughn Harris. I'm one of the coaches here at Coaching Season, and welcome back. This conversation, since it's the beginning of the year, and a lot of people have a lot of New Year's resolutions and goals and plans for themselves. I know for a lot of people that will include fitness, and for some people it might be including starting a new business in fitness. So what I decided to do was bring on a very special guest and good friend of mine and one of my favorite trainers, Ryan Harden, today, just to give us some little insights on what it takes to, one, start a fitness business, and also some tips later on to help all of us in setting our fitness goals and creating a routine that kind of makes our lives more fit and more focused on wellness for 2023. Hello, Ryan.
What's going on, Bob?
Good to see you.
You as well.
I'm glad we could do this. Let me give you a little background on Ryan. Ryan grew up in Danbury, Illinois, with four other siblings, raised by a strong Black woman. His mother, who I know personally, she's fire 1,000%. You know, he formed a love for fitness early on in his life. He started taking on local shifts while he was in high school, of all things, working in a nutrition shop. And during that time, he built his love for that. And he also took on shifts at a local gym where he started working on bodybuilding. And then he became he worked with a professional bodybuilder there. And then he started, really getting into it and really focusing in on his fitness. And throughout that time, he was also working with extracurricular stuff, not only theater, football, but even show choir. So Ryan could actually sing, which that was a new one for me to find out. And he attended the University of Kentucky, where he studied dietetics, and he also worked with patients at a local hospital, for the mentally ill, before launching into his fitness career and also his modeling career. So Ryan has a full lexicon of experience for us to share today, and I'm just glad he could be here with us.
I appreciate that lovely, lovely intro.
Yeah. I got to show you the love. I met, just to let everybody know, I met Ryan maybe 4 years ago now. We were working on a film project, and they had asked me to do this workout routine for people with disabilities. And then I needed a before and after story. So they aligned me with a trainer, which was Ryan, to kind of get me in shape and get me ready so I could have that great before and after story. The film didn't happen, but, starting to work with Ryan, he really got me in tune with what it is to work out. And he showed me what was possible as a person with a disability and someone who never really worked out in the gym like that. He showed me what was actually possible. And he adapted a lot of my exercises so that, I could achieve the goals that we had set. We worked on a very comprehensive diet plan and routine, and then just a fitness program in general. I lost a lot of weight, and I just gained some new systems and some new habits in my life to make my life better. And I've been doing it ever since. And I'm thankful for him for showing me what was actually possible. And I think it's, the reason for this show is to talk about success stories. I think everybody, you hear about these things and you hear about people becoming trainers, or you hear about people who want to go work with the trainer, but there's success that can happen. And a lot of times we hear about people who don't succeed or who don't follow through. But for one person who actually did, and that's myself, and I know other people who have, because I also have met several of Ryan's other clients, I think it's important to stay focused and build consistency. And that's the one thing that I learned the most from Ryan, which was about consistency. And sure, it was hard. It wasn't easy, but it was one of those things that, I felt like was important. He showed me, to pace myself and not to expect this transformation overnight. He let me know that it had to happen over time. So I'm very thankful for his teaching during that period of time for me. And the fact is, it stuck, Ryan. So it's still here. And it's still here. So
I see you.
So Ryan, tell me a little bit about what inspired you to actually become a fitness expert.
Well, originally, it started as a selfish endeavor. So I was 18. I had grew up being pretty chunky. When I played sports, I lost a lot of weight. And then so my body was really skinny. And At the time, I started to do MMA. And so I wanted to work out for MMA. And as I got into working out, I just really noticed how it built my confidence, how I felt about myself when I would look at myself in the mirror. Um, and then after that, you know, once you start to have love for yourself, you have your circle of people, and you almost want to take those benefits that you have for yourself and give them to them. And from that, it spread and me wanting to really get into being a trainer. I started to research nutrition, health, what supplements could help your performance, a healthy body, functions better. And it kind of just started from that. So originally, it started as a selfish endeavor for myself. But after that, it grew into something a lot more.
Wow. Wow. So what were some of your greatest challenges in starting?
Um, I think one of my bigger challenges initially, I thought that, because you're in shape, you can be a trainer, or just because you work out, you could be a trainer. Because I had other friends who were also in shape. Hey, maybe you could be a trainer. And I've known a lot of people who are in great shape or they have great bodies, but they're not the best trainers. It requires a different skill set, more along the lines of coaching. And so, um, me having to hone some of my people skills, communication skills, time management, different things like that to help me become a better trainer. Also, if you really want to make this a career or a lifestyle, being a trainer, and you want to take it seriously, you have to take it seriously. It's not just, it's my job, it's what I do. I have other streams of income as well, but if you want to be a trainer and you want to make, six figures or more, then it's a job and you have to treat it accordingly, not just, oh, I train people, you know.
Right, right. So, what do you think? How did that relate to modeling? Because I know you also fitness model. What came first, the modeling or the coaching?
So the coaching definitely came first. If you want to be a model, you do need to be in shape. So when I started to model, I was definitely in shape, and it's been very rewarding. I've worked with brands like Under Armour. I've been in Muscle and Fitness, different magazines. I've worked with Nike, a lot of different brands. But the training and the coaching came before the modeling.
Gotcha, gotcha. So what? So give me an example of who was your greatest supporter as you were going along on this journey.
My greatest supporter, my mother, for sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously, she's been there since day one. She's always loved and supported me on any of my decisions. And as I've gotten older, it's almost kind of mirrored now. So she'll come to me with problems or issues, and it's almost like I'm troubleshooting them. But in the same sense, anything that I want to do, she's always there to support me, be a
Mhm.
positive voice, a good ear to listen to any of my problems. And so she's been a big part of my life since day one and who I am today.
Okay. Well, that's good. It's always good to have, what in whatever endeavor that you start, it's always good to have a good support system around you and people that are going to motivate you and help you to find that light within yourself to shine out upon others. And I noticed that you had said in an earlier comment that you wanted to give back and you wanted to help others. So I could see, I'm sure that also flooded back to you in
For
your support network.
For sure. And even with you saying the support system or the support network, I'm sure that like a life coach deals with that as well. And that's something that I express to my clients. When they come to me, I'm like, okay, well, what are you looking for? What are you trying to do with your body? Okay, these are big goals. For you to do this alone is going to be extremely difficult. You have me here now, but who else do you have in your corner? Can you communicate these goals with them so maybe they can help you along this way? Do you have a wife? Do you have a husband? Do you have kids? Are you the people that you spend a lot of time with? They need to know what these goals are so they can support you and not hinder you. For example, if you're trying to really lose 20 pounds and your
Mhm.
husband or wife is always eating out, you should probably communicate to them your goals and how important that is to you, so they aren't kind of becoming a detriment to what you're trying to do. And if they love you and support you, they'll be on your team. And so a
Right.
support system is crucial.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. And what I love about coaching season is that all of the coaches here and Christian, our CEO and president, everyone is supportive of each other in the team. We always support each other in just the day-to-day challenges of taking on new clients and trying to help all of the clients meet all of their needs, but also fortifying ourselves and making us stronger and, working on meditation and mindfulness and all the things that make us better coaches. Because if we're not solid and strong in what we believe and how we support it out there to our clients, no one's going to win. And the goal is just to cultivate that outstanding life and for everyone. So I totally agree with you. And you do have to ask the hard questions. A lot of times people don't want to admit to it, and I'm
For
sure
sure.
you run into that on a daily basis. I remember myself and just working with you. I was so intimidated by you when we first met. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to work with this guy. Look at him. There's just no way he's going to want to work with me. One, I was older. I'm in a wheelchair. There were so many things that, you wouldn't necessarily think would happen, but you opened up the space to me and the world to me of fitness that showed me that anything was possible and that it was a mind, body, and spirit function. It wasn't just about lifting weights and eating the right food. I had to have the right mindset to make that happen. And I think that's one of the things that, we try to teach at coaching season, that you have to have the mindset to want to make whatever change that you want to make in your life happen, no matter what it is. Whatever that is, you really have to focus on it and be ready mentally, spiritually, and physically able to make that happen. So I'm very, it's very important. I'm glad you reiterated that. What was one of your greatest fears upon taking on this challenge?
Well, when you're a trainer, or you could even branch it off into being an entrepreneur, you don't really have, um, basically, if you want to eat, you have to go get your food. So the job, I'm not on a salary, so I have to be serious about what I'm doing in my business. So, for example, someone who works a normal 9 to 5, they get paid every 2 weeks. Now, if you're a trainer, there's a lot of freedom in not having a boss. You are your own boss, but you are also the boss. So you have to make sure that you're on top of making things happen. I know a lot of trainers who they aren't organized, or they don't take it seriously. They just kind of think it's well, I'm a trainer, and it's your job. It's a business. So I think that that's something to really keep in mind if it's something that you're interested in. And really, that's with any entrepreneur-based job. I also have Harden Performance, which is where I train a lot of people online, and it's similar with that. So I
Right.
would definitely keep that in mind.
Tell us a little bit about Harden Performance. How did that come about? Do you find it easier to work, face to face with the client, or this online experience? What's
So
your
there's
thoughts on that?
pros and cons to both, but I would just have so many people reach out to me with me doing Harden Performance, where I can create a library of workouts, attach videos to them, type in cues on how to do them. I can work with someone, have check-ins with them. We can have a time allotted where we're looking at your goals, what's going on, what happened this past week. So it's only taking me a short amount of time, because I have the software that I've already done a lot of work on the back end, to where I'm able to help and reach more people.
Right.
So that's a big pro with the online coaching. Also, it gives me another source of revenue. Now, someone who I'm working with online, I can't be there with you in person. So someone who needs someone there with them in person, or maybe you need me to push you, it's going to be more beneficial if I'm there in person, if that
Right.
makes sense. So there's pros and cons to both. Some people, they don't like to go to a gym; they'd rather work out at home. Maybe we could start online. Some clients, I do hybrid, but I'm able to reach a lot more people and help a lot more people with me doing it online, because we only have so many hours in a day.
Yeah, and you're one of those guys that gets up very, very early to start your day, and and I totally understand what you mean about online versus in person, because during the pandemic and the fact that we could not go to the gym and could not work face to face with a trainer, I actually took on an online training situation, and the hardest part of that for me was being used to working with the trainers one on one, face to face, hands on the equipment, and even working with that. But luckily I was able to find a program that was able to try to tailor my needs and focus me in on areas that I really need to concentrate. And that was, not only diet, but also the fitness aspect. So I totally understand. And I think you're right. You have to, whichever way you want to do it, or if you want to do a situation of hybrid, I think it's all possible. And so using that as another stream of income for you, that's a great way to map it out and to really kind of focus on, if I'm going to start this business, I'll have my in-person clients and I have my online clients. So that's a very smart way of doing it, I think.
For sure, for sure. And I always recommend, if you're a trainer, that you should do online, because if you are a trainer or a coach, or if you're helping people in any type of fashion, again, you can only trade in so many hours for work a day in person.
Mhm.
So if you believe in your craft, why wouldn't you want to help more people? Not only could we all use more money to do whatever we need to do, but your reach will be bigger. And if you think that what you're doing is good or beneficial, why not try to help more people? So it's just a way to help more people. It's a good way to think about it. And why wouldn't you want to do that if you believe what you're doing is beneficial?
One thing that keeps jumping out to me in our conversation here tonight is your desire to help people. And I think that's when you're doing something that really is transformative for people's lives. I think you do have to have that desire to help others, and so that means a lot. Where did you get that focus on helping others?
You know, I it's a good question. I think as I've grown, I've just become more sensitive, I'll even say, to people around me, their struggles, and I've cared more about just people in general, or humanity, and the things that they're facing, the struggles that they're facing. And so I just genuinely care more about people, how they're doing, and it's become more sensitive to me. Whereas when I was younger, it was more so all about me, more selfish. How do I look? How do I feel? But and so I just genuinely care. So for example, even when I wake up in the morning, or you see me, it's 4:45 every morning. I'm getting up. I don't usually, unless I didn't get much sleep, I don't usually wake up and I have to. I wake up and I'm gonna go help Vom, or I'm gonna go help Megan, or I'm gonna go help V, or I'm gonna go help Chris. I don't feel like I have to do something. And so it helps me, get the job done. I enjoy doing the job. The job is very rewarding for me, and I'm helping someone get in
Mhm.
shape. I'm helping someone feel better about themselves, and it's a lot deeper than that too. I mean, I'm sure in the coaching world, you understand. I mean, a lot of times, sometimes we're talking about, if you're not eating this or you're not working out, well, why aren't you? Is it a time management? Is something going on at home? You seem a little stressed today. You seem a little off. You build relationships with your clients and you really help them in more avenues than just fitness. Whereas I'm sure maybe like someone who's just in the coaching world, you may say to someone, hey, have you thought about working out? Or have you thought about going on a walk? There's all this stuff ties in together with just helping people, bettering their lives. It's it's very rewarding.
Yeah, and I totally 100% agree. You definitely build the relationships, and we at Coaching Season, we believe that fitness is a part of all of life coaching, executive coaching, and all of the aspects that we do here. Because I think that if you're physically fit and you feel good, your mind is good, you're flowing, you're thinking, you're firing off at all shots. You're doing your research. If you wanted to start a new business, if you wanted to take on a new job or move to a new city, you're really focused. And the thing about fitness that I think it really teaches you something about discipline, consistency, and focus. And I think that's really good. And to dip back into helping others, I also realized that you're a motivational speaker. How long have you been doing that?
So I got into it big pre-COVID, and now when COVID happened, um, obviously you weren't they no speaking gigs were going on, and after COVID, I've kind of been busy with some other endeavors, so I haven't taken it on as much. But it's just another way to help people, reach people, be there in person. Um, and so usually the speaking is usually based on health, nutrition, and exercise. But again, when we look at a lot of the root problems of why someone isn't doing these things, because most of us know, hey, salmon is good for you, or hey, exercise is great. So why aren't you exercising?
Right.
Why aren't you eating salmon? What's going on there? Are we addicted to eating food to soothe some of our discomforts that are going on in life? Okay, so what are those discomforts? Are you not where you want to be? Is something going on in your relationship? Is something stressing you? Are you depressed? Are you anxious? Troubleshooting a lot of those things and then finding the motivation. And I always tell people discipline is better than motivation because motivation is fleeting, but
Yeah.
motivation is a great thing. So if you feel motivated, maybe this is the time for you to try to build those habits or build those discipline, you know? So I tell people to take advantage if you feel motivated, but don't expect for motivation to be there all the time because anyone who's seasoned knows that it's not going to be there all the time. So it can go pretty deep.
Hmm. And I just got a question that came through, and the question is, are you motivated every single day, and how do you get to the gym when you're not?
Am I motivated every single day? No. That's kind of like I was just saying, I'm not motivated every day. One of the perks that I will admit that I have as a trainer, now I love working out, doing any type of workout, putting in my headphones, listening to music, being in the zone working out. I love and enjoy doing that.
Hmm.
I'm also in a gym every day working with people. So in between clients, I have the luxury of already being in a gym. So for me, things that I find that are more challenging for me is, let's say I get up at 4:45 and I told myself the night before I'm going to read 20 pages before I start my day. And I'm not necessarily motivated. But if I can push through that, once I get done reading, there's never been a point where I said, I wish I didn't read that, or I wish I didn't, so you just kind of have to build the discipline. But I'm not motivated every day. I don't think that a lot of people are. The best bet is to fall in love with what you're doing, and it will be easier to get the work done, whatever that is. Have a positive mindset, gratitude, be grateful that you get to go to the gym and work out, or you get to improve your body, or you get to wake up and read a book. Or so I think gratitude, a positive mindset, you won't always be motivated. I'm not always motivated, and I love to work out.
Right.
Um,
Hmm. That's interesting, and that brings us to our next question. What's been some of your one of your happiest moments throughout this whole process for you?
One of my happiest moments was going to the store and seeing myself on a magazine. That was one of my happiest moments. Now, I know magazines aren't as big as they were years ago, but years ago when I would read through these fitness magazines when I first started working out, I would see these guys and I'd be like, "Oh my God, like these guys' bodies are amazing. Like, damn, I wish I could really look like this person or this person. Like, wow, it would be so cool." And I would collect all these muscle and fitness magazines, this and that magazine, and I would read up on all the tips and apply them, see if they work. So me going to the store and seeing myself on a magazine or all these people reaching out to me, wow, bro, can't believe this is you and a man. I'm just like, it was a very rewarding feeling because it's something that I've worked toward for so long. I might have been working out for so long, and so it felt very rewarding.
Oh, cool. That's interesting to me. How do you feel about representation in the industry of fitness for Black men, per se?
Um, I think that it's gotten better over the years. It's improved for sure. Uh, Now I know that when I first moved here, I would notice a lot of the jobs would be we're looking for a muscular, blonde-haired, blue-eyed man.
Hmm.
But I do think that I've noticed a lot more as far as like the representation for men of color has increased as far as from what I can see. I can't speak on the women, but as far as for men, I think that it's gotten better.
Right, right. Hmm. So, what? Let me ask you. What is one of the things? Some of the things you've learned about yourself since you started this process?
So, I've learned a lot about myself just living life and experiencing life. So, some of the things that I've learned about myself, it's hard to maybe exactly pinpoint, um, if it's from my experience as being a trainer or from other experiences. I would say the thing that I learned the most is it's not just about your body. So, when I'm
Hmm.
working with a client, a lot of things have to do with how you think and how you feel. um, that plays a big role in your journey as far as your fitness journey. I just wrote a post the other day about mind, body, and spirit or soul, and they really are all three tied together. If your self talk isn't good, if your affirmations aren't good, you're going to be some steps behind. Especially if you have a lot of weight to lose, or you're trying to build a lot of muscle, or you want to make this a lifestyle. Before you can get to that point where you're so disciplined that you're going to go regardless, it's very important that you keep your mind healthy and positive and your emotions healthy and positive. You have a good support team around you. Whereas when I was an early trainer on, I'm like, why isn't this person eating this chicken? I told them 3 times. I would check in with someone online. Well, why didn't you go to the, I don't, and it would irritate me, but it was because my lack of understanding. There's a lot of things going on, and we need to talk about that, instead of just, okay, next week eat chicken. What's going on? How can I help you? Like, is there something else going on? Is it because you didn't have time to make your food? Do you not like the food that I told you to eat? Maybe we can eat this instead. This will also help you move toward your goal. Do you have something going on with your relationships? Are you doubting that you can do this? Maybe we set 20 pounds too high. Maybe let's just shoot for 5 pounds first, because that may make you feel more doable. And then you get that dopamine hit from hitting 5 pounds. Well, I did this. Okay, maybe eat something free today. Don't binge. But now let's go on to the next five. There's a lot of different things that you learn over time with experience. And if you care, if you care about the people you work with, you will want to learn and you'll notice things. Even when I'm working with someone in person, I notice the way I'm examining their movement patterns, how they're looking today. You seem a little off today. I can tell if someone's already having a bad day, a good day, just from their energy. And it's just, if you care, you notice, you learn, you apply.
Yeah, and just so you know, the listeners are responding very favorably to this mind, body, and spirit connection. They all love that. And one of our listeners is just saying that she feels even more motivated after her workout. So the question I have for you, because I know affirmations and gratitude and all of that is so important. I know you like to journal. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
So the journaling actually, um, you know, me personally, I was getting overwhelmed, me personally, in my life, because as you know, as a coach, I work with a lot of people. I'm taking on a lot of energies. I'm taking on a lot of different personality types that I'm navigating through. I'm trying to help a lot of people, and it can weigh you down. I also have my own set of problems. I'm also building a supplement brand. I have my people in person. I have my online clients. I have my stocks to check. And so if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to have a hard time taking care of other people. And so it was something to where when I started to journal or spill out a lot of my thoughts, it would help my day start off better. And it would also make me feel better because a lot of my thoughts are things that I think could help people. I'm putting them out there to the world, for a lot of people to see. And so I've recently started to post them a lot more, and a lot of people have, responded very positively to them. Some people have criticized some of the things that I write, which is fine and great. If it's,
Mhm.
you know, it's a learning experience, but I really enjoy that. And that's something that I usually do when I get up at 4:45. I'll wake up, I'll sit down, I will not touch my phone other than to send out, I'm up at 4:45. And the only reason why I do that is to try to strengthen the collective, to know, hey, let's get up. I'll put the little book sign. Let's learn something today. Let's worry about our fitness. I put that up so when people see that, they can maybe feel inspired. Wow, he's up doing it. Let me try to do something today. Let me try to learn something today. Let me go on a walk today. Let me go swim. Let me get active, And so, but it's a very peaceful time. I can journal. I can write my thoughts, anything that I think could help someone. And so, yeah, that's been very rewarding as well. And when I get those thoughts out, I don't post all of my thoughts, but when I get them out, I feel much better.
Yeah, it's cathartic in a way. One, you're getting them out of your head, but you're also sharing them with other people and the learning that you've had from your experiences or from your day or from working with a particular client. You've gained something from it. So it's good to be able to share that. And I'm up also at 4 in the morning.
Hmm.
I'm not really happy about, but I do notice your Twitter and Facebook posts and so on and so forth. And I do believe that it's important. If you're going to be up, you might as well use that time to educate yourself, to try to learn, to journal, to get your thoughts out, to plan your day. Just to get motivated and moving forward in your life. It doesn't have to be about staring at the clock or
For sure.
jumping up to turn on CNN or whatever. It's just about, making good use of your time. And I think that, as an entrepreneur, as a professional, you're growing businesses, so you are using your time wisely. So I think that's a good note to share with other people. Use the time. If you're up early or up late, find some time to make a big change. I think that works for sure. So, what are some of the attributes that you possess that propelled you to move forward? I know you're a strong man. I know, physically and mentally. But what are some of those things that make Ryan able to do these things that you've done?
Mm, I think, as we've said before, I genuinely care. And I think that the people around me, not just my family or my circle, but my clients, the people around me, I think that they're able to feel that it's genuine, that I care. Um, I'm a pretty good analyst. I can pick up on things, little cues. I can notice when something is off, something's working, something's not working. So I think that has helped me a lot. I've become a much better communicator in person. And that goes back with picking up on cues, body language. If someone says something to me, they may look away or look down. Just noticing a lot of different things when I'm working with someone one on one. My discipline has gotten much better over the years, not just in fitness, because that was something that I was always strong at. But let's say, I'm going to get up early and read, or, even myself, I'm not going to have that pizza today because I said I wasn't going to. Yeah, I feel like it, but I have a photo shoot in 3 days. It can wait. The pizza's going to be there on the fourth day,
Right.
I've always been willing to learn and be coachable. I think that once you think that you have everything figured out, you can close yourself off to learn more information. Now, I'm not saying don't stand on what you believe in, but outside of that, there's always something to learn, and you should be open to learn. You don't know everything. The more you learn, the more questions you'll probably have. And so I think those are some of the big ones that I can think of off the top of my head.
All right. That makes sense. So you won't be eating that big box of cereal later today.
As a perfect example, I haven't had boxes of cereal in a while. So Bond knows Bond because me and Bond used to work together. But that would be a perfect example. I would eat some cereal, and then I'm human too. The whole box would be gone. So, and I let my clients know that too. When I just can't stop eating. I know that feeling. Da da da. But here are some things we can do instead. You're probably anxious. You may have something coming up that you may be procrastinating about. There's a lot of things going on internally. It's not, but you don't need to eat that whole box of cereal, or you don't need to eat, that whole bag of chips.
Yeah, it's not about using food for comfort.
Right, right.
That's true. That's true. Well, let me ask you, what are some of the biggest misconceptions about a trainer?
I think I can think of a few. I think that for one, almost with us talking about the cereal thing, people sometimes see me and they'll think that I don't enjoy food. There's a lot of food that I also enjoy. I'm actually a big foodie. Um, we like food. We probably just choose not to um, overly indulge. I believe a lot of people think that trainers are arrogant or very self centered. And maybe some of them are, but like I said, I think that there are a lot of good trainers who genuinely care, and they probably started working out because maybe they were self-conscious about something. And now you see their body, but they probably started their journey because maybe they felt they were inadequate in one area of their life, or maybe they were hurt, or, and so we're still human.
Hmm. Very good, very good, and that totally makes sense. So we have another question. Oh, here we go. Do you like vegetables?
So I used to be really big on broccoli, but I'm I don't eat broccoli anymore because when I first started working out, I was just following textbook broccoli. But I like a lot of mushrooms. I like red and purple cabbage, zucchini, things like that. I do enjoy eating.
So it's not just a thing. It's not just a path. It's actually something that you enjoy.
Yeah, I enjoy them. I can put them on the skillet. I can saute them. There's always ways that you can make them to where they're enjoyable.
Yes. Seasonings are important, folks. And what I learned about eating a lot of vegetables, I've been eating more vegetables in the last 4 years than I've ever eaten in my entire life. And vegetables I never thought I would eat, like Brussels sprouts and kale and beets and all those things, because it satiates you and it makes you feel full so that you don't have to eat so much more of the carbs and all the stuff that's not necessary. Let me see. Let me see. What can people who hate vegetables eat? Here we go.
Well, you could probably take a supplement that has a lot of extracts from vegetables in it, like a greens powder.
Yes.
But in a perfect world, and I know it's not a perfect world, you should try to find some vegetables that you like because of the fiber. It can help your microbiome. There's just certain things from eating a whole food that I would argue that you can't get from a supplement. But if you truly hate vegetables and you're just not going to eat them, I can't convince you. I would say take a green powder supplement, find a good one, so you can at least get a lot of those micro minerals and different things that would be normally found in vegetables.
But try it. Just try it. Try it, folks.
Try,
And
and that's what I said. I don't enjoy eating all vegetables. So I primarily eat the vegetables that I enjoy to eat, because if I tell you eat broccoli and you really don't like broccoli, you're going to do it for a week and then you're going to say, "Hey, I'm done on this journey." So try to find things that you enjoy or make it a certain way that you can enjoy. Maybe you could put broccoli in a food where you can't really taste as much, or a different type of vegetable, but there's always some type of way that you could do it to where it will be enjoyable, I think.
one of our listeners just said that they would try it with some sazon. So they wanted to season it up, spice it up a little bit. So that makes sense.
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. So let me ask you, so throughout this entire process and your growth, how has that changed you as a person?
I think it's helped me become more of just who I am today, as far as an adult. Everything's not about you. Everything's not about me. You know, um, it's really just it's shaped who I am today as far as all my experiences with people, trying to learn, being open to learn. I don't have all the answers. I have a lot of them, but I don't have all of them. And the ones that I the ones that I don't have, let me see what I can do about that. Let me ask someone who does, or maybe I can find that out for you. But just everything that we've been through all together shapes who we are today. And the things that we've been through, maybe they weren't positive, but we really can't let that negative shape who we are. We just kind of have to find the positive in the negative. There's definitely things I've done or I've worked with people in the past, and looking back, I could have done things better, you know.
Hmm. Yep.
But instead of dwelling on them, I can't change it. I can just be better now.
Absolutely. Be better now, folks. Just be better now. I have another fitness question from you from our listeners. What are your thoughts about smoothies?
Smoothies are fine. I think sometimes people get too smoothie crazy, and you can rack up a lot of sugar with a smoothie, even though smoothies are primarily from fruit. So we have fructose, which isn't the same as you just taking straight sugar. But sometimes I know a lot of people who, yeah, I don't know why I'm gaining weight. Okay, well, what are you eating? Well, I have like two smoothies a day, this, that. And then when we break down what's in one smoothie, it's like, okay, this is 800 calories, 800 calories. You're also going to go out on the weekend. This is why you're not losing weight. So smoothies are good. You can get a lot of micronutrients from them, but just be aware of how many calories are in your smoothie. Make sure that's accounted for.
Right, right, right. So what are some other, since you're starting a supplement business now, this is a new added piece, and congratulations on that. Um, what would you tell our listeners if they wanted to get started? What would be your first step on advice?
So if you want to get started, first, as I always say to anyone who reaches out to me to work with me, what exactly are you trying to do? What do you want from this? Is your primary goal to be healthy? What does healthy mean to you? When you go to your doctor the next time, your blood lipids will be better, your cholesterol. Do you want to get in shape? Do you want to feel sexier? Do you want to feel confident? Do you want bigger arms, a bigger butt? What do you want?
Hmm.
So once you get that idea of what you want, then you would kind of want to form a plan toward that. I usually don't tell people to just start all in the next day. Maybe you could start slow, go for a walk, or do a workout at home, something to kind of pick up some steam. And then from there, you just build off of that. So usually start slow, build up, because if you throw everything at yourself, some people can, but the most people that I've worked with, it's too much and they'll end up quitting. So start slow, build yourself up, and make sure you know what your goals are so you can have something to look toward. Because if you have something to look toward, you can, as you're moving toward that goal, you can build confidence. You can feel better about yourself. If you want to lose 20 pounds, when you lose three, it feels good. Or when you put your pants on, they're a little looser, it feels great. So things like that, make sure you have little goals inside of this big goal so you can feel good along the way, and it'll help you.
And does that advice also translate into starting a fitness business and the supplement business? How
So,
does that
advice on starting a fitness business. So, one of the things that I wish I would have done first, I would have started, or I would have done at the same time, the online as well as the one on ones.
work?
I moved to New York and just started trying to train people one on one, and it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. I was broke. I was sleeping on a couch. It was not all sun and roses.
Mhm.
So start with online and one on one. Ask your clients if you've helped them to give you a recommendation or write their experience so you can share that with other people. Collect transformations. Again, this is a business. This is what you do. It's like a real job. Almost when you go to work, you get there, your boss is telling you what to do from 9 to 5. Okay, I have to do this. Sometimes when people are trainers or entrepreneurs, they kind of just, this isn't a go with the flow thing. You need to have some type of structure and order. early on, I didn't have that. I didn't know that. I was kind of just, hey, do you want to train? Can you tell your friend if they want to train? There was no strategy, there was no thinking because I'm a trainer, but I'm also kind of like a therapist. I'm kind of like a businessman. I need to manage my time. I need to have a schedule. Am I going to have days off and I'm not? How many hours am I? There's a lot of things that need to be accounted for.
Mhm.
So I would say be organized. I would say if you want to be a fitness trainer, really consider doing online because if you don't do it now, you're going to eventually do it. And yeah, so those are some of the things that come to my mind.
How important is social media to you? Because I know you use, all of the platforms from Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Have you seen that as a good tool to one help build your business and gain new clients, or how does it work for you?
Yeah, social media is extremely important. And that's it just is what it is. I may not want it to be that way, or I could name a lot of negatives of social media,
Right.
but it is very important. You need to be active on social media. Everyone is always on their phone. The phone is the new TV. People are on, every person has a phone, they're always on it. So you want to show yourself to people or show your clients or show whatever it is that you're selling or in a positive way or what it can do. Again, if you truly feel that you help people and what you do is beneficial, you have to put yourself out there. And that's another thing. If you're an entrepreneur, you're probably going to be like a social media manager. I just recently started to post shorts on YouTube, not because I want to, but because I need to. It's just another reach of people that I'm leaving on the board that I could be helping. So social media is very important. You need to be active. Something I personally struggle with is I have a personality outside of me being a business person and sometimes this personality isn't necessarily what's best for fitness or health. I may see something that I think is funny that may
Mhm.
be immature or that I saw off of World Star, and I may want to share it to my story, and that
Right.
may not be that may not be what's best for my business.
Right.
So, whether you're going to keep those things separate or not depends on your business model. Usually, if you're a fitness trainer, you're probably not going to be able to do that. So, that's something that I struggle with sometimes, but it's doable.
Yeah. Because you are your brand. Everything
Right?
about you is
Exactly.
your brand. That makes sense. I have another question, Ryan. This
hmm
question is: have you always been mentally strong? If not, how did you pull through?
No, I would say I have not always been mentally strong. In some aspects I have, but I would, just like everyone else, I would give into a lot of vices, whether, it be urges that maybe not be the best for me, like overeating, or maybe when I should be working, I'm still swiping on my phone, looking at naked pictures of people that's popping up on my Instagram feed when I need to be working. It's a lot of stuff that, like I said,
Yes.
trainers are humans too, but if you have a goal and you want to get there, sometimes you have to sacrifice who you are in order to become who you want to be because it's not going to happen on its own. And I tell people that a lot on a lot of different things that they're trying to work on, whether it's fitness, whether you want to be a better person. It takes work. It's not easy. But once you can get in the hang of it and you can build that discipline, over times with the scars, you just get stronger. If I've been doing something for 2 years and I'm still not where I want to be, well, in those 2 years, whatever I was doing probably wasn't the best to move me forward. And so it's almost like that saying, in order to be, in order to become, you have to be, or in order to be, you have to become. It's a process. And so it takes work. But, if you're open to learn, if you're open to sacrifice some of those short-term vices, it can help you move further. And again, I'm a human. Sometimes I'm not, I have my setbacks as well, but I don't dwell in those setbacks. I got to pick up the carriage and get on the horse and get to moving again. So,
I hear you. That's very real. Okay, I got another exercise question because we're moving quickly on time here tonight. What is the best exercises for your rear? And I guess that would be the backside,
So
other than squats. I know squats is one of them.
got it. So when you think about your rear, your glutes, or your butt, you want to do an exercise, and this is with any muscle. You want to do an exercise that stretches the muscle with tension on it, and you want to do an exercise that shortens the muscle with tension on it, or your muscle in a contracted state. So it's hard to find one exercise that's the best if you want to fully work that muscle. So a good way to think about it is with the shortened and the lengthened or stretched is your bicep. When I'm here, my bicep is lengthened. So I want an exercise where when I'm in this position, there's weight or tension on it. In the shortened, I'm here, which is what we all think about. Do this, do this. So this is the shortened, and you want weight on it here as well. According to research, muscles usually grow better when you have tension on a stretched position. So what does that mean for your glutes? Something like a Romanian deadlift or an RDL. A squat could count if you know how to hinge your hips the right way and your body can handle weight on your back. Something like an RDL or maybe a trap bar deadlift. A squat if you know how to hip hinge the right way. Those are going to be things that are great for your glutes in the stretched position. Something that's good for your glutes in the short position would be something like a glute bridge or a barbell hip thrust, where you're thrusting your hips up and your glutes are contracting. So that would be a good move for your glutes in the contracted position. So really you want a blend of moves that put your glutes with tension in a lengthen and a blend of moves that put your glutes in tension in a contracted.
Okay, well there you go. Hopefully
Mm-hmm.
that'll help some people out there. I know we're getting short on time. We're moving pretty quickly through this tonight. And thank you, Ryan, once again for being here. If you had a choice, whether you had to, if you could do this, would you do this all again?
As far as would I be a fitness trainer again or
Yep. Mm-hmm.
hmm I think the order in which I did things would change, but I really enjoy being a trainer slash coach. If I were to do it differently, I would probably still be in the business where I'm still personal with someone and I'm still helping them, whether that be training, whether that be a life coach, a therapist, um, but it would be in the business of helping and providing to people in a very personal way. So that would be the only caveat of something else that I would do. And in a way, I kind of am those things and somewhat. I don't have a degree in those things, so maybe that would be a different path that may have come up. But I really enjoy what I do. And if I wasn't doing this, I would still want to help people in a very personal, hands-on way.
Wow. Well, once again, Ryan, and just in closing, what would be the one tip you would give all our listeners out here for starting a business in fitness training?
The one tip I would give you starting a business in fitness training, if I could give you one tip, make a schedule and stick to it. I would say that. Whether
Right.
you do that on Sunday, beginning of the week, or early in the morning, make a schedule of things that you need to get done and do whatever you can not to deviate from that. If you need to send out emails to people, if you need to make a newsletter, if you need to talk to all of your online clients, if you need to send out a video, if you need to work on advertising, if you need to spend time reading, if you need to get a mentor, whatever it is that you feel you need to strategically do, write that down and get those things done. Don't just go with the flow.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us tonight and telling us your transformative story, because that's one thing that one inspired me in knowing you. And for all of you out there looking for a fitness coach, I would definitely recommend Ryan 100%. Check out his IG at Ryan Harden. And then also there is Harden Performance. And then your Twitter handle. And Ryan, you can tell them what the Twitter is.
So the Twitter is Rye Allen. Allen is my middle name, 6. That's probably going to change soon. I just recently started posting on Twitter so I could journal my thoughts and images to put them on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Well, great. And like I said, once again, we want to thank you. And just so everyone knows out here, coaching season is about making these kinds of transformations in your life. And I think that it's important to understand that what this show does is to talk to all these people that are, one, they went out there, they took the risks, and they made a success of whatever business or whatever thing they decided to do. If you want to work with a coach, if you want to work with me, reach out to Coaching Season and book a free discovery call, and we can set you up with a great coach that can help you meet those needs, because it's all about cultivating the best life possible. Once again, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you soon.
All right, Vaughn. Hopefully